Python Lists Volume 5.
We started with the concept of the list. Just to recap, we'll go quickly. We started with the syntax of the list, then how we can create by using a square bracket. Followed by this, we went through some examples with multiple distinct elements. That is what we discussed. We can have list with the different types of the elements like integer, string. Okay. After this, we understood that we can change the list. That is what we call as mutable list. Okay. Then we understood okay, how we can find the type of the any data type by using the type method. When you use this type of my list, it will display like my list is of type class list. So you can apply the same thing with any data type, right? Like integer, float, and other things. And we also understood like knowing the size of the list, how we can find by using the len method. This is what we discussed the last class. And we also understood how we can add elements to the list by using the append method. Default, it will add the elements at the end of the list, and it will add only one element by using the append. So this is how we can add the element by passing the elements as parameter to append method. Okay. Next, we understood the insert method. This we can use this method to insert the elements at any position by using the index and the value. As an example, look at this one. This is at the index 3. You can insert the number 12 here it is. So it means like 0, 1, 2, 3. Here it is. In between 3 and 4, 12 will be inserted here. That also we understood by using the insert method. Followed by this extend. Extend, if you want to add more than one element at the end of the list, we can use this extend. Okay. All these things we discussed in the previous class. So since we have 3 4 days gap, just I thought to recap all these things. Next we have okay, this we can extend by passing the list itself as an argument. One second, somebody's trying to log in. Fine. Accessing elements from the list. Next we have discussed how we can access the elements from the list. Just by using the index value, you can access the elements like list of 0, 2 like this. Okay. Okay, this is how we can dynamically add the elements to a list by using the append method. You can ask the user by using this input, prompt the user by using this method, then you can keep adding the elements by using this append method to the list, empty list. This is what you created, empty list. Next, by using the negative index, how we can access the elements that we have discussed. We can traverse backward by using -1, -2, -3 like this. Okay, by using the negative index. -1 refers to the last element in the list. -2, this one, -3, -4, -5, -6 like this. You can traverse from the in the reverse direction. Traverse in the reverse direction of a list by using negative indexing. And we also discussed a remove method to remove an element. Remove method in the list only remove the first occurrence of the searched element. The first occurrence that will be removed. Okay. We have remove 5, so that will be removed here. So it will scan from here, it is, and 5 will be removed here. Remove 6 like this. That also we understood. You can also remove by using this range. Okay, 1 to 5, all the elements will be removed here because 1 is assigned to this index, I mean iterative variable I here it is. Okay. This is also equivalent to that same example, and here you can understand one more thing like you can, instead of printing all the elements vertically, you can print in the horizontal direction by using this syntax, by using the keyword argument end is equals to null. Next, we also discussed the pop method to remove the elements. It is used to remove and return an element from the set, but by default it removes only the last element of the set. So from the last, I mean like in the reverse direction, it will keep or the whichever the element which is at the end, that will be removed here default. We are not passing any parameter here, so this element will be removed by default. Okay. And we can also specify this location by using this syntax to remove the element. Otherwise, default it will remove the last element. Slice also we discussed how we can cut. If you don't, this is from 3 to 7, index 3 to 7, all the elements will be uh, sliced. And here from index 5 to end, if you don't specify second argument, here if you don't specify first and second argument, all the elements. Okay, that is what we discussed. And we also discussed at the end of the previous class this comprehension, list comprehension. This is very important. As I told you, the whole summary of the whole slide is here. It is like just take this one. This is how exactly we need to read this instruction. For x in range 1 to 11 means it will iterate from 1 to 10. And based on this condition, we need to add the element to this list. This is to create a list. First, we need to understand this for loop. Then you need to check this condition. If mod 2 is equals to 1, it means like it should be a hard number because the remainder we are checking. If it is an odd number, then square that number and add that number into this. Okay. First, you know this one. If you square it, also it will be 1. And again, 2 is remainder 0. So 3 will satisfy this condition. So 3 will be squared here. It is that's why it becomes 9. Like that, it will go up to the 10 here is the value. Whichever the condition satisfies this one, that element will be get added here by squaring that. Okay, fine. Yeah, this is where we stopped in the last class. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah, fine. Now we will start from this. Let us understand today's session. We'll start with operations on list. How many different operations that we have or we can do on the list. The first one is the length. How we can find the length of list. Very simple. Length of the list is by using len function. Call this inbuilt function called len and pass a list as an argument. Here it is that will give you the length of this. It will the output of this function is 5 here it is. Okay. Iterate over a list in Python. The second one is like very simple. We already familiar with this one. As a part of these operations, I just covered once again. You have created a list, then using for loop, you can iterate I in list. So this syntax, the I becomes that it will keep getting or assigning individual values of this list to this variable I. So it will print 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay. So next what we have here it is like Python code to iterate over the list, getting the length of the list by using one more syntax instead of giving the list. Suppose I don't know how many elements are there in the list, then I can go with this syntax. Find the length of the list, get that length into this variable, then you can go or iterate through all the elements by using the range method. Default it starts from 0 and it will go 1 n minus 1 because length you know that suppose if it is 5 means index starts from 0 it will go up to 4, so n minus 1 is the last, so length minus 1. Okay. Thereby you can access all the elements. So print list of I. So this is one very well-known method to traverse through the list because we cannot manually count how many elements are there in the list. So the best way is like use the len method and use the range. Pass the argument of this, I mean output of this len method as a parameter to this range method. Okay, one more example like iterate over a list is you have created a list, getting the length of the list. Then by using while loop, while I is less than length, okay, just printing all the elements here it is by incrementing the high by with 1. So here we have one more thing by using the comprehension, list comprehension, what we discussed just now. Look into this code to iterate over list. For I in list, print I. This is one more syntax instead of having a print separate statement just below this one. Okay. What exactly you're doing here it is with this syntax? Can anyone answer to this question? What you're creating here it is. Are you printing only the content of the list or doing something else? Somebody's trying to answer.
Just
So it
printing the
probably is
list, sir.
making another list.
Take the
Exactly.
square
Okay,
bracket.
you are creating a list. Excellent. Okay, this is what I expected. Look at this syntax. Here it is. The whole code is inside the square bracket. When you enclose anything inside a square bracket, you're dynamically creating the list. So it means that the same list is again the contents of this list. Here you can have some conditions. Here it is, as we discussed in the previously. Now comprehension. So you can create a list here. Good. Okay. That is how the Python is so powerful. You can write a very compact code which will do complex operations. Next, we have one more is think using enumerate. Okay, this is widely used method in developing any projects. If we want to convert the list into an iterable list of tuples, okay, to get the index based on a condition. For example, in a linear search, you might need to say the index of minimum element. Okay, I mean that the least element. Okay, suppose you want to find the smallest element in a list of numbers. Okay, that is what class by using the linear search. You can use enumerate function. Look into this. What we can do here, it is like you have created a list using enumerate. Okay, enumerate is again inbuilt function of a Python. You pass this list. Okay, by using this, you can get both index as well as the value. Where we have values. Okay, using this enumerate generates index. I is the index value, and value is actual content of this list. Please remember that. This enumerate, it will return a tuple of values. This is a tuple because we have two things here. It is one is the index and the value. Automatically, this returns that one. Okay, and you need to be clever enough to hold or catch those values. It returns two values because it creates a tuple. It creates a tuple. Tuple means you know the two values. Tuple with two values. One is index and the value. So that's why you need to declare two variables here. It is enumerate. Okay. I and value, once you print it, look into this. The first variable I contains all the indexes, and the second variable value which holds all these values 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So most widely used syntax, okay, in developing some projects which are related with data analytics. Next, ways to concatenate two lists in Python. How we can combine two lists in Python? Let us understand. Initialize two lists here. It is we have list one, list two. Then this is very conventional naive method or a conventional method of okay, combining two lists. What we are doing here is list one is ready. For this list one, we are taking the elements from list two and keep adding by using this append method. We are iterating through the list two by using this for loop. Take the list one, dot append, keep adding all these elements. A very conventional method of this one. Okay. So after this one, you can print it. That's it. So once you print it, the list one automatically all the elements are get added here by using this append method. The one more method is, as we already familiar with this one, you can combine or concatenate two strings by using the plus operator. The same way you can concatenate two lists by using the plus operator. List one, list two, use this and print it. That's it. Okay. By using the plus operator. Next, the third one is using list comprehension. List comprehension. Okay. Yeah. It can also accomplish this task of list concatenation. In this case, a new list is created. This method is one of the linear alternative to the loop method discussed now. Okay, what we discussed. Look into this. What we have it is concatenating using list comprehension. Created two lists here to concatenate this one. What we are doing, look at this one. For x in list 1 and list 2, okay, it will iterate in both the list 1 and list 2. That's what the syntax is. For x in list 1 and list 2, okay, and then for y in x, each value of this list will be again assigned to this y, okay, and that value will be added to this list. That's it. Okay. The syntax, you need to be familiar with. Okay, it is not so easy to remember the syntax. in for the first time, what we need to, these are the different ways of okay, adding the list or creating or combining the list. What you did here is, for x in this list, okay, you have taken both the list. Okay, for each iteration, x value will traverse from getting value from the list one, that will start from here and it will go up to this one, or two list it will traverse, and the same value you are going to assign to this y by using this formula, and that y becomes the list element here. This is how you need to read this syntax. First you need to read this, then that x value is assigned to y, then that becomes, okay, x, I mean that becomes an element for the list, and finally you are printing it. This method is what called comprehension method. We have extend method here. What we are doing is like a simple, because we already know this extend method to, okay, add elements, create a two list okay, 3 dot extend of, and passing this list 4 as parameter here. So just understand what are the different ways of adding the elements or combining the elements given by your Python. Okay. So this is how the Python is so powerful now, because it has very versatile and it provides lots of options here. It is okay. Okay, we understood the extend, then comprehension method, then plus operator, and the naive or the conventional method of adding by using the append method. Python membership and identity operator. Next, in operator. The in operator is used to check if a value exists in a sequence or not. But you can use this in the same thing. Also, it works on the string. Okay, if you want to find whether this character is present in the string or not, evaluates to true if it finds that variable in the specified sequence, and false otherwise. It means that suppose we have a list and we need to find for a particular element in that list. If it is present, how we can check it out? By using the in operator. In is the keyword here. It is. You can do that by using the in operator.
So in this one, will it output just once or like for every item?
Only that one. So what is going to happen later? Okay, whatever it is, it will print only the true or false. That's it. If it is present,
Okay.
yeah, it will true. It will say like it is true. Otherwise, it will say like it is false.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. Okay, just look into this one. Finding a program to, okay. Here it is like what we can do. It is using the Python. We can find out like whether both the list contains the same element or not. For item in the list one, and if item in list 2, we have taken two list here. So item in the list 1, I mean we have okay, taken one for loop that iterates through this one. And if item in list 2, for every element we are checking whether this item is present in the list 2. Okay, then print it is overlapping. It means that we have same element is also present in the list 2. Just to check it out, because our intention is like all the elements should be unique when we consider both list 1 and list 2. Okay, otherwise not overlapping. Just look at this one. All the elements are unique here. It is 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 7 8 9. So no elements are repeated here. It is okay. That is how you can check it out by using this in method here. It is. And here also, if item in, okay, this is okay for loop. We need to look into this syntax here. It is, if item in list 2, it means that if the item is present in the list 2, then you need to execute this statement, else you need to execute this one. This else should be just below this one. Okay, I hope you understood. Somebody has asked a question. Good question it is, because look at this one. This in operator, it will give you only true or false boolean value. So based on that boolean value, the additions will be taken care here. It is, since it is a true, I mean like it is a false, it is coming over because it is not present here. It is in the first
Yes, I
iteration.
got it.
Yeah, fine. Next, as a reverse of this in operator, okay, we have a not in operator evaluates to true if it is does not finds that variable in the specified sequence. Otherwise, it's false. It is exactly reverse of your in operator. Fine. We have taken two variables here it is. Then if x not in list, x is 24, yes, it is not in list. Since it is true, this will be printed. X is not present in a given list. Else this will be executed. In this case, anyway, 24 is not present, and this operator, okay, returns true. This condition returns true, so this will be get executed. Next, y in list. Y is 20. Yes, it is present. 20 is present, and it is in list. This will be get executed. Y is present in given list. Okay, so that is how exactly. That's why usually when somebody asks why do you like Python so much, means you will reply like it is almost like speaking how we speak the same we can code. Whether this is in the list, yes, this item is not in the list. Okay, the how we speak in the same, like it is very close to the natural language. Okay, the syntax. Next, we have identity operators. These operators are used to determine whether values of certain class or a type identity. It means that just to check it out whether this is of type, okay, which class, by using this is operator, which evaluates the true if the variables on either side of the operator points to the same object and false otherwise. Look into this. X is equal to 5. Type of x is int. Okay. Anyway, you know this type of x is, again, it's just an inbuilt function which says that it is a class int. Okay, class int, and you are comparing that with the int. Each int means if both are equal, then it will display true. Since in this case x is equals to 5, so now x becomes integer type because based on the value that you assigned on the right side of your assignment operator. If it is 5.0, you know that this becomes float. Since it is a 5, it is an integer, straight away this becomes an integer. So that's why this condition returns true. That is what is going to be printed here. So now you understood the whole summary of this slide is like is operator that checks the class of the data type, which class it belongs to. Fine. Next, is not operator. Okay, evaluates to false if the variable is on the either side of the operator points to the same object, and true otherwise. Okay, if both are not equal, obviously you can expect a true here it is. Okay, so is not. So is not of this type. Okay, type x is not of, because it's a float, as you know this 5.2. Now x becomes the float, and float is not equal to int. Float is not int. Then you know that it prints true because this is float and this is an int. So this is one more operator is, okay, and is not. Okay, we understood four different operators. What are the four different operators that we learned now? Not in, not in, is, and is not. So these are the four different operators that we understood now. Next, we have will discuss list methods, different list methods. Okay, append and extend anyway already we understood. Just to relook into these things, I have this. Okay, append and extend. Anyway, append will add single element at the end of the list. Okay, so this is little interesting. We'll just look into this one. Append, it will add only one element at the end of the list. Yes. Here, what we have done, look into this. Append of geeks, that will add this element at the end of this list. Okay, when you print this, this will print this one. This is what is going to become. Three elements are there. When you, okay, when you add single element, that will be easily get added at the end of the list. Next, we have created one more list here. It is when you add this list, the whole list becomes one element here. It is the whole list. When you call this append method, the whole list will be treated as single element. That's why just look into this one. Okay, but I want all these elements are to be added individually to this list. What I need to do? What changes? Or which method I need to call? I hope you got my question, or you understood my question.
Extend.
Excellent. Okay, we need to use the extend method. Very good. Okay, that's okay. Otherwise, if you use the append method, the whole list what you use that will be treated as one element, and that two element will be added at the end. But my requirement is like I need to add all these elements individually into this list. And then, as you told, we need to use the extend method. Look into this. So we have this list and extend of another list. You will get this. All the elements it has removed here. It is the bracket is removed, and all these elements are added as individual elements. Here it is. Good. Yes. Again, we have one more thing. String is an iterable. You can extend a list with a string. This is one more interesting example. Here it is. You'll find. You'll append each character as you can iterate over the list. We have the list here. It is a extend geeks. This is a string. Here it is. Okay. All this is when you use this extend and followed by this geeks. This will be treated as a list internally. All these individual characters will be treated as an items. Here it is. This is one more interesting example. When you uh, call this extend by passing a string as an argument, automatically individual character will become an element. Here it is. Next, we have delete and remove methods. Okay, this is also very important method to understand here. It is delete space. In the square bracket, you give the range of elements that you need to delete. All the elements, okay, the range starting from this A till B, okay, all these elements will be deleted excluding this B. Okay. You know this. Okay, when you have given this range, it will start from this index and it will go one less than this. So what is this pop and the delete? The difference here is this method deletes the element at the position mentioned in its argument. Only one element it deletes, and this deletes the range of elements by using this delete operator. Let us understand this by going through simple example. You have created a list, okay, and you are calling this del list of 2 to 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and 3, 4 we have, okay, once again, okay, 0, 1, 2. From here it will start, okay, 2 to 5 it will go. So 2 to 5 means here, okay, what we have is 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. As I told you, these three elements will be deleted. Only it will go one less than this index. Is it clear now? Because it will start at this index exactly 0, 1. 2 it will start. It will start exactly at 2, 3, 4. Okay. These three elements got deleted because once before it reaches the index 5, it should stop. So these three elements are deleted. The remaining elements are 2, 1, 3, 8. 2, 1, 3, 8. You can observe this. Okay. So that is how we can delete some range of elements by using this slicing syntax with the delete method. After deleting, we are printing those elements. That is what we did. And using the pop method, pop of 2, okay, displaying. So here, to delete the element at position 2, that's you. This is an index. At position 2, 0, 1, 2, the position 2, 3 is there. This we are going to delete. This we are going to delete. After that, look into this one. This is a modified list now. 0, 1, 2. So at the position, because pop of 2 means this element will be get deleted. So we left with 1, wait, 2, 1, 8. 2, 1, 8. So I hope you understood the two methods here. It is like we can have delete and pop method we understood. Next we have insert method. You already familiar with this one. This is the index and this is the value. Fine. Okay. And we have a remove method here. It is. Look into this. Using the remove, we can remove the first occurrence of 3. Okay. First occurrence of the 3, which removes at position 2. At position 2, because we have 3 twice it is added here. It is at the position 2 as well as at the position 4. But it will remove only the first occurrence. That you can observe here it is as an output of this code. Okay, insert you understood, remove you understood, pop as well as delete. So there are three different ways of removing the element from the list. One is the del operator, that is what that is not a function. Please you can note it down. This is not a function. Anything which is enclosed with a parenthesis, then only you need to call it as a function. This is what you call as operator. Del space, the range of elements that you need to delete. And this is a function, as well as remove is also a function. Fine. Next methods or operations, what we need to understand with the list is sort and reverse. This sort list, sorts the elements in the increasing order, and this reverses all the elements in the list. That is almost like it is the meaning of the sorting all the elements in the decreasing order. Reverse is used. Okay. And even we have one more syntax, like suppose we have a sort method. Inside the sort method, you can call, okay, you can pass this. There's a keyword argument. Pass this keyword argument. Reverse is equal to true. That is one more syntax is there. Reverse is equal to true as a parameter to this sort method. That will also sort all the elements in the decreasing order and the reverse order. Let us consider this example and call this. Don't pass any parameters. Default, when you call the sort method, it will sort all the elements like this in the ascending order. That will keep increasing. Displaying the list after sorting, that is what you did here. And as I already told you, you need to display all the elements means you need to use this keyword argument end is equals to space. Okay. To delete all the elements, what we need to use here it is like extend, yeah, sort. Fine. So followed by this, we have a reverse function. Sort we understood, and we display the elements also. Look into this. Using reverse to reverse the list. To reverse the list, what we have here it is list dot reverse. Straight away call this list dot reverse. Already this list is modified, as we know this list are the mutable, and since it's immutable, it is already we changed all the elements like this. Now what you can do, like we call this list dot reverse. All the elements will be in the decreasing order. Okay. Very useful methods before you start with any projects, because I want to know that which are, suppose I am dealing with around 100 different articles. I want to know which are the articles, okay, which are very costly. Then I need to sort all those things in the reverse order, because I need to uh, slice top 10 costliest items out of these 100 items. And the second requirement is like I need to slice top, okay, lowest priced articles. Then I need to sort it like this. Then I can slice the lowest or the first 10 items. And here I can slice first 10 items, provided I need costliest items. Okay, that is how you need to use this reverse and the sort. Next, we have extend and clear. Is used to extend the list with the elements present. Okay, this we are understood many times. And the clear is to erase all the elements. If I want to delete all the elements in a list, we need to go with the clear. Let us understand this with a simple example. Look into this. We have extent of the list to this anyway we are understood many times. It is repeated here. Next we have a clear. Just look into this. Yeah, using this list one dot clear. So when you have list one dot clear, all the elements are deleted. When you print it, nothing is printed. You can observe this. So even though we printed, we have used this complete logic as it is, but nothing, no elements are present here. It is no elements are present here. When you clear, automatically the length itself it becomes 0. So no iterations happens. No iterations happens. So if you want to find out like what is the time it has taken, there is a time module or a package. I don't want to use the word package in Python. They will call it as a module. But in Java and all, they use package. What you'll call as an header file in C and C++. There is a module called time. So you can explore more on that. I can find okay, how much time it takes, because no iterations has to happen here it is, since the list itself is empty. Okay. Yeah. So like that, we have few more methods like index, which will return the index of the item. So by passing that item as parameter here, and count is one more useful method. Like this method will give you number of occurrence of individual items. Say for example, we have a list one dot count and pass that element. Okay, pass that element automatically. That will count how many times that number has occurred. Okay, so you can explore more on this. Many other methods are also available. Okay, and we have discussed a few of those methods. Okay, so I hope this is enough with relevant to the list, and we left with another three data structures like set, dictionary, and tuple that we'll discuss one by one by tomorrow. And Friday I will cover dictionaries. Okay, that would be better. Even if we drag it for 1.5 hour, I can cover. Okay, we'll discuss set and tuple tomorrow, and followed by that dictionary we'll cover it on Friday. Fine.